Tying, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back. Want to see how I achieve this hairstyle? Stay tuned. Alright guys, to start, you're going to want to get your hair into 5 sections. And in each section, you're going to want to do small to medium sized braids. And this will help define your curl pattern a little better. The big chunkier ones I don't think will work for this style as well. So I'm doing about medium sections here. And my hair is really dry and brittle, so you have to be really careful when it comes to separating each section out. Of course, you're going to add your water. I'm using a lot of water because my hair was really dry, so I wanted to moisturize my hair as much as possible. The products I'm using are the Cantu Shea Butter, the leave-in conditioner, curling souffle, shea butter mix, and my oil mix, and of course your perm rods. So as you get your products into your hair, I'm starting off with the leave-in conditioner and shaking it as I go, and I'm really working that product in. Then I'm going to follow up with my Cantu Shea Butter, concentrating that mostly on my ends to give it moisture, and then I add my shea butter and my oil mix to seal in my moisture. Once I get all those products worked in, I just braid like normal as my braid out tutorial. But yeah, you're just going to want to braid your hair, and you're not going to go all the way down, but just make sure you get your shed hair out and detangle as much as possible. Also, when you start to braid, make sure your sections are even, because you're not going to want to borrow hair. It's going to make the takedown really complicated for you. So you want to make sure that you have a nice even amount of hair to braid in each section. Don't go all the way down, leave a little bit of hair out in the ends. And you're going to need a comb and a Denman brush. So once you have the amount that you want to leave out, you can either add some more water if it dried by the time you're done, and smooth your hair and run the comb a couple of times through the ends. And then follow up with your Denman brush. Once you get your hair detangled at the ends, you're going to add your curling souffle, or you can add some more shea butter at the ends. The Cantu Shea Butter, something light, so that your ends will curl and be soft and fluffy. So when you start to add your perm rods to the end, make sure you smooth your ends and tuck them in, and this will protect your ends and prevent them from being fuzzy. And as I twist, I also smooth my hair. Now, you can twist all the way up if you want, but I chose to go midway for each braid. That way, my hair will stay stretched at the top and the ends will be nice and curly. As I'm braiding, I'm using my left hand to smooth down the hairs to guarantee less knots, and smoothing my hair as I go. The curling souffle that I add at the end of my hair is by Shea Moistures, and I've had it for so long I'm just really trying to get rid of it. I don't really use it in my hair too often because I don't like the stickiness of it, but for this it's pretty cool. It's on the end, so it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, moving forward, this is what my ends look like after I use the Denman brush and the comb. And remember to tuck your ends. It's so important to tuck your ends. This will guarantee a smooth finish. And again, you can go as high or as low as you want to go. In the front of my hair, I'm braiding my bangs towards the front. I know they're really long, but I still call them bangs. I'm braiding them directly towards the front so that the hair will hang correctly and I won't have to mold it too much. And I'm not braiding the front of my hair too tight because I don't want to put too much tension on my edges. I left the perm rods in long enough to make sure they've dried, and I'm using oil to take down my hair. I didn't use any papers or anything like that. I just used the perm rod, and I'm slowly taking them out the ends because I don't want it to snag too much. But because I detangled, I didn't have that problem too bad. And so once I remove all the perm rods, I want to give my hair a shake just to loosen up the curls at the end. And then you begin to take it down, and this is the reason why you should not borrow hair, because you'll get strands that get stuck and you don't want to ruin the end of the curl too much. So by making sure you don't borrow hair, it'll help to ensure that your ends stay intact. This is what it looks like once it's fully taken out, and give it a shake. Some people will stop here, but of course, you know, I love big volume hair, so make sure you shape it to your face or to whatever you like. Maybe you want to keep this style in for a while, you don't want to separate too much, but for me, I like to go wild. As I was separating, I noticed that some of my ends would get a little fuzzy, so all I did was retwist it around my finger, and voila. Now to add more volume and to get rid of those ugly parts, using this comb. I don't have a pick, I know, right? Why don't I have a pick? But I have this comb, and I'm using Taryn Guy's method to lift my roots and get rid of that part. Now, my part in the middle and the top, as you can see, never really goes away, but I'm not concerned about that. My concern is the part in the back. So I just move my curls up and comb in a downward motion, and I'm very gentle with it because obviously the comb's not going to go all the way through, and I don't want to rip or cause any damage. So I'm just going into the parts that need to be lifted a little better. This step is obviously optional. And that's it, basically. You can add accessories to jazz up the style. This is how the back looks once I use the comb to separate and to make sure my part was gone. I added this little hairband for a pop of color. Never even wear these headbands, but I decided to give it a try today. Also, if your bang is like too much in your face, I use a bobby pin and put it right at the edge line, and it normally helps to shape my bangs in the front. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.